Right, welcome back to the Agamemnon game review, featuring World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth expansion. Today's broadcast is being recorded on the 8th of September 2018. 9:37 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, Saturday. This video was captured on the 28th of August 2018. This is part 2 of that video. It's going to be a multi-part one, probably 4 parts when it's all said and done. I left a note of what I was talking about in the last part, but it's been several days since I did that voiceover and this voiceover, so I don't exactly remember what I was talking about. I wrote a note over here that said female leaders, but not sure if that applies. So here we are, moving on. Gonna make this little screen a little bigger so you can see. None of which you'll actually see because it's all on my end. The 28th is the last day, or 29th is the last day that we were using fraps. From the 30th onward, fraps ceased to function anymore with World of Warcraft. Don't know why, it just doesn't. And I have since been using the one that Windows has, and it's not as good as fraps, but better than nothing. So but the Windows one records everything in MP4 files from the get-go, so it's quite easy to record that to my main drive and then copy that over to my extended hard drive, and
master of shapes.
there's less processing time on raw footage, which means we can make for a longer recording.
Ready for the next age of this world.
So starting with the next video onward, from the 29th of August onward, or 30th onward, the videos are going to be a little longer than they are here in a 30-minute interval. But I'm going to try to keep them within the 30-minute window. Took me a couple of days of recording footage to kind of see how to do that with the Windows setup. How exactly to do it and not miss anything. Because the problem with Windows is that it doesn't stop automatically like fraps did. With fraps, it would break everything in the 4 gigabyte clips. So on the back end, everything would be in these nice sequential order clips. So then all you had to do was put it all together, stitch it all together, and it makes one seamless through. And then it's easy to drop 30 minutes of segments into your project. With Windows, on the other hand, though it has a clock, you have to manually stop it and start it. Which, when you're in the middle of a battle, you're not really paying attention to that. The thing will automatically kick out. So what I've been doing to overcome that is I programmed it so it would record for 60 minutes. But I would only manually record for 30 minutes, and then I set a watch. I set the clock in the game to remind me when 30 minutes goes by, so that I can stop the recorder and restart it. But the last couple of days I've been doing it, what ends up happening is I get to the 30-minute mark and I'm in the middle of a battle usually. And I had to let it play longer than 30 minutes just to get that footage in, so I can get a nice clean break. I don't want to stop the video in the middle of a break. on one incident, it accidentally cut out, and I missed like 15-20 minutes of footage. Wasn't recorded, and that kind of angered me. Kind of angered me, but I got over it because it was an important part of the story, and it missed it, and I was kind of upset. But we'll see as that comes along. The actual recordings are up to date. As far as footage, I've recorded all the way up to Friday, which was the 7th of September. So she got a lot of footage last night. I didn't record tonight because I decided to process videos. I have to work on Sunday. It's mostly all day. I'm going to spend the next 2 days processing videos and get them all caught up. But as far as up to YouTube, I got all the way up to the 26th of August loaded up. So I was able to clean out my hard drive of all the stuff used to assemble and make the project. Go ahead and delete all those out, and now I can reclaim all that space for the hard drive. And then, once you get the final YouTube video produced, you can go ahead and delete all the Adobe Premiere projects out and cycle it on into the new ones. And you can get rid of all the raw footage. The final clip is already made, and it's not necessary to waste all that storage space. So far, though, I feel all our productions have come out really nice, really clean. And all together they make a nice mosaic of the Horde side of the Zandalar story. A lot of key things are coming up in the next couple of videos, which are key to the rest of Battle for Azeroth. We finished up the quest in the little kingdom area, and we ventured out to the, what's it called, Nazgard? Nazarene area north of the main kingdom. Which is kind of good because we met Wasambi.
The skies be my eyes.
He's been kind of cool. One thing that's been happening in the game is, at first, Blizzard was trying to say that Details was messing up their UI, and I kind of took their word for it, and so I deleted all my add-ons and reloaded the UI, I reloaded the game, and the problem did correct itself, but as I changed map zone, the problem reappeared, so I learned that it's not Details, it's the something with the Blizzard UI and the changing map zones and stuff puts the game in a state where you can't click on the things anymore, and the only way I found to get rid of it is to completely log out of the game, completely log out of BattleNet, and then restart the entire game. It's the only way I've found to clear out that fault bug. So. But the good thing is I've learned that it's not Details, so I can load that back up. Which, in a couple of videos, I have Details up, so you can see the damage displacement.
May the winds of war be ever in your favor.
I'm gonna load that back in this week.
Choose your loa wisely.
This is where the story starts to pick up as far as the quests and the main battle for Azeroth story start intersecting. And the tempo of the story starts picking up.
Ever walk on the wild side?
Kind of excited to do the next couple of voiceovers. That's kind of why I want to do it all in 1 or 2 nights. That way it's
Never tame the beast inside
You want to soar with the sword?
the continuity will be better for the voiceover. I do it all in one sitting.
Like my Loa always says, go away.
But the next couple clips are a little longer, so they're going to take longer to process. The ones that I did with Windows, or really it's the Xbox DVR is what it's called. Microsoft calls it. Imagine if I actually get an Xbox, I'll be able to network this and my PC together where I can just use the Xbox to store videos. Give me an extra hard drive, definitely. But I don't know if the console would be, an Xbox would be formatted differently than Windows, because I imagine the operating system on the Xbox is Windows, right? Might call it something else, but it has to be the same company building it. I think they were using a completely different operating system. Zocalo. This becomes an important part of town later as you get into about level 114 and 115. It introduces the concept of the treasure chest. Something that I'm glad Blizzard put back in the game, because that was part of classic WoW. You would go around and there'd be all these treasure chests everywhere, and that's how you got like special loot. So I'm glad that they incorporated all that back into the game. They took it out for a while. Imagine as they're moving closer to making classic WoW a reality, that they're going to put all that stuff back in. For myself, I'm hoping with classic WoW that they just put the stuff that they took out of the game from the story point of view back in. That way, when you start from level 1, you can play everything up to Wrath of the Lich King and everything up to Cataclysm and experience that part of the game, because I play Warcraft 3. I still have that, and if you follow the story from Warcraft 3 onward, there's a big hole in the story. When they added Cataclysm, they put a big gap in the story, and if you don't really experience that, you don't really know what's going on from Warcraft 3 all the way to Burning Crusade. Luckily, they left Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King the way they are. They didn't change those areas, which I'm glad. It was only the regular areas that were affected by the Cataclysm. They must have had intended at some point when they were making Cataclysm. They must have decided to delete that stuff out of the game, realizing that at some point in the future they were going to put it all back in. But they probably didn't know how they were going to do it. It's probably why they left Burning Crusades and Wrath of the Lich King alone. Because Cataclysm's the first time they introduced the back-end architecture where as you adventured to a place and you completed a quest, the area would change based on that character. So when you come back there with a different character who hasn't done that part of the lore, it's gonna look very different because you have to finish that part of the quest. So like Z Lydia Maria, she's now just starting the Pandaria stuff. The world is looks very different when she's out, because in her game, Gorosh Hellstream is still the war chief at that point. She hasn't experienced Warlord or Draenor, Drano, and she hasn't experienced Legion, and she hasn't experienced a Battle for Azeroth yet, which I missed some footage out of Battle for Azeroth. I'm gonna pick it back up when she starts doing it later on, which won't be anytime soon. To get all my video stuff caught up and moving along, I think I'm gonna turn Saturday nights to I was thinking an Alliance night, because on Sunday I do my retro called a Retro Sunday, so I play my alt, which is normally a Horde, and then Monday through Friday I'm recording stuff for the Horde, so I'm thinking of making Saturday night my Retro Alliance night. So I play my Alliance character on that night.
I will take your head.
This weekend I decided not to, because I figured it'd be better off to use the time to get these videos all out and pop back up. That being said, let's move on and start talking about some Warlock stuff. The only big changes that are occurring at this point are my Azerite powers are growing. Other than that, everything's pretty much the same with demonology as far as playstyle. And it's taken me time to get the significant gear. I have done a dungeon with the character. I did it a couple days ago. It's coming up in the series. It's either Friday or Thursday that I did it. I recorded in the afternoon because I didn't know how long it would take. I figured it would take longer to do it, but it ended up only taking a half hour to do. Plus we were only on normal mode, so I didn't think it would be that difficult. It's my first chance to play a dungeon with the Azerite stuff, and it was I had a lot of anxiety because I didn't know what was going to happen. But to put some context in there, none of my characters went through the Legion stuff, although I had the expansion. They didn't have any of the gear from that, so there was a lot of unknowns for the character. But it answers one thing: if you boost the character up to 110, like this character, you can do all the dungeons pretty well. The only thing this character doesn't have are all the support stuff that you normally would have had you grinded out the character from level 1. I think the character would be a lot wealthier from level 1 and have a lot more reputation. Definitely more achievements. Definitely more achievements. So I was trying to find this Alright, we're in the Garden of the Loa. This becomes important in a couple days. But on this day, I decided to keep the cameras rolling. And I cleared out this whole area while I was over here. Because the next day I wanted to go work on the other areas. I've been watching a couple other streamers who've had short snippets of all the cutscenes, which are cool. But I like our videos because you see the comprehensive or contextual events that happen before the cutscenes that we've been able to capture, and I think makes a really good guide. I'm only concerned with our guides aren't really how to do this or quickly everything. We just showed the video as it is, as we experienced it, and so if other people are playing through, they'll have to kind of apply their own thing to it. But we're mainly showing it from a Warlock perspective.
I will bury you here. Greetings, little hero. Have you come to join me in slaying these heretics?
This guy was kind of cool.
Have you come to bargain? Say to the other Loa, I will hunt the gardens for more invaders to slay.
So far, my overall experience up to this point in the video has been pretty good. I haven't had any real horror. Just a couple bugs that I've run into, but for the most part, not a lot of downtime, not a lot of frustration. I've been watching Taliesin and Evitel show, and they've been reporting that a couple of people have had some real trying moments, especially the big raiders and stuff. We're not at that point yet, so it doesn't directly affect us, but we're gonna get to the point where that's gonna become necessary. See that? We reached level 113. We're moving up. As of the 8th of September, we've reached 116. So we only got 4 more levels to go.
Must I breathe your air? Remember, the skies are mine.
I was thinking of reading those dialogue boxes, but
The spirits whisper.
I feel I've did it on a couple of videos, but I feel after I've seen it on the television, in big 4K television, I think it's better not to read it because I can read it clearly when it's on the big screen. And I think it would be distracting if someone was trying to read it and someone was reading it in the video. One thing that started happening as of the week of the 8th of September, started seeing more and more alliance people ganking people in Zandalar. Right, gonna come up to the last 2 minutes of this video. Be picking it up in part 3 for the 20th of August. Just gonna let this play out and then we'll pick it back up. Part 3. See you there.